Recently I finished Resident Evil Requiem. And I made a video about why I think this is the perfect first Resident Evil game that newcomers should play. And what's interesting that after playing it, I had a desire to replay the whole series. As a coincidence, right after I finished it, we got all 3 OG Resident Evil on Steam, and they are all on sale. So right away I bought them and I decided to start with Resident Evil 3 Nemesis because a lot of people agree that this is one of the best Resident Evil games. Moist Critical in his tier list of Resident Evil games had this in his top 3. And after playing it just for a little bit, I was kinda mesmerized that a game that is 25 years old with such an outdated graphics can feel so intense and can be so interesting. It doesn't care if it's hard for you, if you cannot figure out a puzzle. And if you realize that back then we didn't have all the guides and everything on the internet, you had to figure this out on your own. And I think Resident Evil 3 Nemesis is a must-play in 2026. So I think you should not shy away from this old game when we have a remake that kinda considered not really good, especially comparing to the original. You should not be afraid of tank controls. You can get used to it. And maybe, if you like Resident Evil series, this can be one of the coolest and most intense experiences in this genre for you. Let's discuss the atmosphere. Everything is pre-rendered, the game looks very detailed, and I think the representation of Raccoon City is the best in this game. There is somewhat of a charm where in each room, on each location, the developers picked the angle from which you should see that street or that room. It creates many of the moments where you can hear the zombie somewhere further in the corridor, but you cannot see them. You don't know if you will go further if it's close to you and it will attack you right away, or if you have to stay and wait, and it's just another mechanic that you have to think about all the time. This game is difficult. These days all the companies, they try to optimize their games so everyone could play them. They are trying to make them not really hard. In Resident Evil we have an easy mode. It's so easy that it's a little bit embarrassing to play it, so we all choose hard mode, which is considered a normal one. Even in the beginning of the game I died so many times. We always have scarce ammo. Even if you clear the location the first time, when you visit it for the second time, there can be a surprise for you out there. Some zombies will break barricade, or some new enemies will appear, or the most iconic part, the Nemesis will show up. Let me tell you, even after playing Requiem, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Mr. X, the girl, they don't even come close to Nemesis in terms of the difficulty and in terms of how creepy it is to enter a room and seeing him fucking running at you right away.
No, 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 no! Oh my god! Oh my god, that... Oh my god!
You just turn back and then exit the room. When you exit it, he will actually open the door and he will come after you. And if you will not be able to dodge, which is very hard in this game, there is a pretty high chance he will actually kill you. It is definitely the scariest and the most dangerous pursuer enemy in all of the series. This game doesn't care if it's difficult for you. These days, gamers really like this. That's why Dark Souls, Elden Ring, that's why those games succeeded. We actually love the challenge. Combine this with scarce ammo, with ink ribbon, which is literally a resource that you find in the world that you use to save, so you cannot save all the time. This game is scary, but it's not scary in the jump scare way, although with Nemesis you will have a lot of jump scares. It's more intense scary, because you never know what will wait for you behind each door, even if you clear the location. In these old Resident Evil games, I would say 60% of the game, these are puzzles. Puzzles is the main part of Resident Evil games. Zombies and everything are just the obstacles. But to proceed further, you have to solve the puzzles. You have to find some tools, some cranks, wrenches. You have to remember where you can use it, because the map doesn't show you. So that's when you take out your pen, your notebook, and you actually write down the places where you should use everything. And there are so many of those locations, so many closed doors with some puzzles, with some items that you need to find and use it to open the door. Even in the newest Resident Evil games, they made it a little bit more simple. In Resident Evil Requiem, the Graces part, in the care center, it is kind of what those games deliver. Still, it's a little bit easier. It's a little bit more streamlined. There are no hard puzzles actually. And also the map shows you and reminds you what is where. Here you have to actually guess and remember. And when you got to some place where you can put an item to open the door, it will just give you a hint, but it will not automatically use the item that you need to use there. You have to enter your inventory, press on the item and press use. And sometimes I had this issue where I found the item and I have the door that I need to use the item on, but I forgot and I couldn't get that this is the item that I should use there. And I didn't press use on that item, so I couldn't go further. When you play a game and you grab a notebook and a pen and you can draw a map, things are getting serious, and that means that this game is actually really good. And it's kind of funny that the latest game in the series, Requiem, is a perfect introduction because it kind of uses those best things from the OG games and from the newest games. But if you want to go deeper, if you want to see how those mechanics, how those puzzles, how it worked originally, you actually need to go to the roots. Resident Evil 3 just feels cooler. It's all in the Raccoon City. It's not in one building like Resident Evil 2. It's like a city. When it's pre-rendered, it looks really cool. The vibe of the game with all these neon signs, gas stations, train station, it fits so well with the whole charm of Resident Evil. I think no other Resident Evil game repeated this kind of atmosphere. The remake of 3 tried, but they failed, and I haven't played the remake. But the most important part that people loved about the original is the scope, the locations, that the city is kind of big and it's filled with puzzles. And I don't even notice the graphics, tank controls, aiming mechanic. It's just a part of the gameplay. It's a specific limitation that this game has to make it more tense. If you loved Requiem, again, check out my previous video on Requiem about why I think that's the perfect introduction into Resident Evil series. And it actually made me want to replay all of it. I'm so glad that it did. When I was like 7 years old, I was watching my stepfather playing it and I was so scared. I could not imagine me playing it because it was too stressful. And right now I'm 32 years old and I'm playing it finally. And now I get it. Doesn't matter when this game was released. It's a masterpiece. And I don't want to look at the guides, I want to do everything by myself. I suggest you try to play the OG Resident Evil games, and especially Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. There is no substitute to it. Resident Evil 2 Remake is actually good, but Resident Evil 3 Remake, it's a completely different game. I just wanted to make this video from the top of my head because I'm having such a blast with playing this game right now. Stay safe out there, that's about it.
Now leave me alone!